Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is Steve, your host, and we actually have the band back together for 2 weeks in a row. I'm joined as always by
PC
and
BB
and keyboards
Dylan
and our awesome special returning guest once again, Jenn.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
She is back. We're getting another little injection of estrogen into the show this week.
Woo!
Estrogen.
Oh,
yeah. See, there you
go.
Maybe that's what we'll have to call you now, estrogen.
All right. Let's see how that goes.
We will. I'll ask your husband what he thinks of it. All right. So, welcome back.
Thanks.
Glad to have you back. Always good to have you. We're going to have a cool episode. Something probably unexpected by a lot of people out there, but you'll see what we're getting at once we get going here. What's
or
up?
If you read the title.
Hey, that's true. You know, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. They know as soon as the episode appears in their feed.
That's true. Maybe you could put something obscure.
Yeah, secret title.
Well, then that's not good for people discovering the show.
Man.
All right.
Yeah, it's
I know.
Give or take there.
I know. See, that Dylan thinks of all the angles. I just talk. All right, so you know what we're talking about, going to be talking about. So before we do that, what are we all listening to here? Let's go with estrogen.
That's going to make me laugh now every time you say it. Well, my friend already picked up the new Tesla CD, so on our way out to Hartford, which we had a teaching MT classes last night, we listened to that CD.
Did you drive off the road?
What did you think?
Be honest.
Some of it's okay. Some of it I probably have to listen to a couple more times.
Why?
Because you know me, I only listen to the hits and I forget about the rest of the songs on the CD.
Did he remind you of anything?
What are you getting at?
When you listened to it, did it make you think of another band?
No.
Now we're recording this episode the day before last week's episode came out. So
2 days.
2 days before. Oh yeah, it's only Wednesday.
It's only Wednesday.
Okay, so 2 days before we released last week's episode, so Jen has not heard it or know what we've done.
We cover the album.
We covered the
episode.
album.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Preferably the song Taste Like reminds you of another song from
I
a
don't
certain
know
band.
if I heard
that
it.
That's from a band you would like.
Really?
They like sugar.
That's the first
Halen?
song on the album, isn't it?
Oh, Def Leppard?
Yeah.
Right?
No, Taste
Yes.
Like is not the
Yes.
first song on the album.
No?
No, it's You Don't Want to Take Me Alive.
We want to take me
Oh,
alive.
okay.
Taste Like is number 2.
I don't know where he started when I got in the truck, so
okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, Phil Collins from Def Leppard produced the album.
Oh.
And you could hear his influence quite a bit on the album.
So you're saying
if
you
you
think
know
it
to
sounds
listen
like Def
to it.
Leppard?
Horribly.
It sounds like Def Leppard, but Jeff Keith isn't as good a singer as Joe Elliott.
Well, Jeff has
It's not
this
in his
voice.
range.
Jeff
Yeah,
has
it's
this
not-
voice
it's
that
not,
no one else can do.
Yeah, so Jen listens to the episode in 2 days from now.
All right.
And then the next time we have you on, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So Jen's listening to Tessa. Dylan, what are you listening to?
I decided to check out a band I'd been hearing about for a long time. I was in a prog mood, so I checked out a band called Periphery. And they just came out with a new album called Periphery 4, Hail Stan. It's a...
Hail Stan, like the name Stan?
Yeah, Hail Stan instead of Hail Satan.
Instead of Hailstorm?
Instead of Hail Satan. It's Hail Stan.
Were they not allowed to use the whole...
No, I think it's just a joke.
Okay.
I mean, it's gutsy having your first track be a 17-minute song, but it's a kick-ass 17-minute song. And I'm really getting into these guys. I haven't delved too deep into the back catalog yet, but I really like this album. It just came out, I think, the first week of April. Really good prog metal, just awesome sound. There's some Cookie Monster vocals, just to warn you.
We'll have to see if Mark knows these guys.
Now, 17 minutes, is that all lyrics or is
No, there's lyrics
long?
and there's instrumental, so there's a mix. Actually, a lot of vocals in it. A little more than Dream Theater, I would say. With those.
So he's not as well rested as James LaBrie.
Yeah, it's a really good band though.
Pretty long too.
Some of them get a little lengthy.
Yeah.
Which is I love those.
Oh, I like Iron Maiden. So.
No, sure.
It's actually Hail Stan for Hail Stanley.
Yeah.
Paul Stanley.
Yeah, that's it.
Or Flat Stanley.
Flat Stanley.
Yeah,
Flat
but
Stanley goes to the studio.
good band. Good
All
band
right,
so
cool.
far.
BB.
I'm all over the place. Record day, I picked up L.A. Guns, The Devil You Know, and I also picked up the acoustic album from Nina Strauss. And
I didn't know she had one. The acoustic?
I mean the instrumental.
Oh, okay.
The instrumental. Sorry, my bad. And then I'm stuck on Dylan's pick from last week, Animal Drive.
It was Sonny's.
Sunny.
Oh, was it Sonny's?
Yeah.
I should write this shit down instead of just like, go off the cuff. And then I'm also listening to the Methods of Madness album from Obsession. That one of the gems from last week. I picked one of their songs. Love that whole album. So I'm all over the place this week.
Cool. BC.
I actually got some free time, I guess. Not really free time, but I got to listen to some podcasts out there. And I love it. Loudcast did a Dream Theater episode. And I don't know, since listening to it, I just been overdosing on Dream Theater. Listened to a Train of Thought album. Phenomenal. And just Dream Theater in general.
All right, cool. I was listening to, and actually, I sent out a text about this album last night because I put it on. Actually, I saw it on the side page of Blabbermouth. It was one of the ones that they checked out. And so I just looked it up, and like the first two songs are cranking, so I'm texting everybody, check this album out. And then it like kind of fades at the end, but like the first couple songs are fucking excellent. It's called Pounder. The band is called Pounder, and the album is called Uncivilized. Not Pound Her, BB.
Oh,
Pounder.
Pounder.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Like the beer.
Like
Pounder.
beers, like
Beers.
pounders.
That's
Pounders
right.
of
That's
beers.
right.
Yeah.
And I've been in a thrash mood, so I've been delving into the new Overkill, and I've been going back into the Flotsam and Jetsam album, End of Chaos. So I've been in a really thrash mood. I've been
You're
getting
all over
a
the
pit.
place there.
Well, because my team, my hockey team, just totally kicked ass and swept supposedly the best team in the fucking league. So I've been getting a pit in my living room watching the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yow!
All right, that's what we're listening to. Got some Pounder and some Overkill and some Flotsam and Jetsam for me. We have some Tesla's new Shock album from Estrogen. We have Nita Strauss and Animal Drive from BB. Dylan's listening to Hail Stan. That cracks me up. It really does. And BC's on a Dream Theater kick. And I do have to say, I did listen to the Dream Theater episode with Vinny and Peter. I Love It Loudcast. It was really good. I need BCU, Peter, Vinny. I need you guys to send me a list of like 10 Dream Theater songs that you know that I will like. Not crazy. You know what I don't like. So I need a list. And I even said me, right? I said everybody, didn't I? I did.
Yeah.
All right.
Your memory is pretty good with that.
I know. I'm like I'm right on top of shit. I'm just
He's
banging
good with
stuff
four.
up.
When there's one more to add to the list.
That's right. Because
it's tough.
I thought BB wasn't coming to this episode. I thought he was not. I thought he was coming to the next one and not this one tonight. So I had to pencil him in. So that extra name in there got me all fucked up.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. Into the topic this week, as you guys read. Thank you, Dylan, for reminding me that we have it in the title. We're going to talk about rocking Bon Jovi songs. We don't usually delve into the Bon Jovi realm. We've talked about them a couple times about how they were so much better when seemed like they were an actual rock band playing rock music instead of country and pop music. But I'll tell you what, there wasn't a band out there in the mid '80s that was more on the ball than these guys. These guys were everywhere, played everywhere, and everyone had at least Slippery When Wet. That album was just everywhere. I remember when that came out, and it just hit. And going back a little further, I was on the Bon Jovi train right from the beginning. I got to see them on their first tour. They opened up for the Scorpions in Philadelphia. The Scorpions were on the Love at First Sting tour. They were the opening band, and they were really good. And so someone on the bus had that album. They were playing it, and I picked it up the next week and everything. So I've been rocking with those guys from the very beginning. The first album came out in 1984. Just it was good. It was good, solid hard rock. A couple little tiny ballady things on there, but nothing crazy. More rock than stuff that you skip. Just a great album. Let's ask everybody how you got into Bon Jovi here. Estrogen.
I'm pretty sure it was because John was hot. And
Terrible.
I had posters of him all over my bedroom.
That's why your husband's name is John.
They're spelled different, though. Because John is Jon.
I know.
Is J-O-H-N. But anyway.
John Voight with the H. J-O-H-N.
I think the first song... I don't even know. I can't even tell you the first song I ever heard, but... ever since I can remember, I've always loved Bon Jovi. So Skid Row got me into hard rock, and then there was Bon Jovi, and he's just beautiful. So I love him. Remember in our ballads
You should
episode,
see the
I
dreamy
called him,
look on her face right now.
I was just gonna say, I call him McDreamy.
She's
'cause he
floating
is.
around her room.
How about Bon Dreamy?
Bon Dreamy.
Bon Dreamy.
Estrogen
John
and
Bon Dreamy.
Bon Dreamy. All right.
Wow.
I'm in.
Dreamy.
All right.
I'm in
Works.
it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, BC, how about you? What's your BJ story?
Getting back in high school, and then I picked up the first one. I don't know if I picked it up and then saw him. I don't know what time frame. It's very blurry. But I picked up the first album, and that was the buzz, so to say. Because Runaway was the big buzz, and to me, that's probably my least favorite song on it.
Yeah, that first album's fucking rocking.
And I saw him at
That was
the,
his first song, period. Like when he was a
Yeah,
teenager. he
yeah, that
wrote
was released like before the album came
That
out.
was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before he was even in a band, really.
It was just him.
And
yeah.
Snake Sabo plays
That was his neighbor, right?
guitar on that song.
Yeah.
I guess.
Runaway.
I guess. Yeah.
That was his neighbor.
The snake.
But I saw him at Rocky Glen Park, and for some reason I want to say the Great Rock Scare open up or something. It was
Probably someone, a local band
local
opened up
band
for them.
opened up.
Yeah.
Rocky Glen. So
Yeah.
I was like 5.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of good shows there. Really,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of good shows there.
Not good.
All right, BB.
I'm a little later than you guys. 1986, Slippery When Wet. That's kind of when I jumped on that Bon Jovi bandwagon and then kind of worked backwards. I probably heard of them. They were either on MTV or on the radio because they were, 1986. They're all over the place with their, mega hits, and they really took the 80s by storm, especially with that album because that album is, full of hits.
I think that one's better than the first one.
Slippery When Wet.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know. I like the first one a little better. It's not as polished, but it's produced really well though. It's produced really good. A lot of people think that Slippery When Wet was like the second album, but there's an album in between, 7800 Degrees Fahrenheit, which the production on it is terrible.
Terrible. I was just gonna say.
It's just so like kind of muffled sounding. There's some really good songs on there, and they played around here too. They played at the Kingston Armory with Cinderella for that tour. And do you remember? Were you at that show, BC?
I was not at that one.
Okay. Back then, I want to say I don't know what song they did, but there was a part where John Bon Jovi went on like a wire thing over the crowd to the back of the fucking arena.
Paul Stanley copying John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, but
John Bon
I
Jovi,
don't.
damn it.
I remember that, but I couldn't tell you what song it was. But that was a great show.
I don't think I went that because like the first album the second album didn't thrill me. There's like 3 or 4 songs and then
It was a great show, and I actually went because I hadn't seen Cinderella before, and Cinderella opened up for it. So I really went to see them. But Bon Jovi was great. They were freaking excellent. All right, what we're going to do on this show is we are going to. Dylan, by the way, is just engineering today. He's not a big Bon Jovi fan, and he.
It's not that I'm not a big Bon Jovi fan. I'm just not as familiar with this catalog to be able to give you
Okay.
the deep cuts that I'm known for.
and he doesn't believe that he's Bon Dreamy.
That's right.
Well, he is.
I like him. I like him on when he had a cameo on 30 Rock. That was pretty funny. That was.
That's it.
That's all he's got.
So like Jack hired him to make Elizabeth Banks jealous, I think, and then he has John Bon Jovi come over to talk to him, and he's like, "Not now, Bon Jovi. I'm talking with my girlfriend."
John, thank you for coming. Oh, no problem, Jack. What do you need? Arena rock anthem, power ballad?
Actually, I have a date coming by, so if you can come over at some point and say hello, that would really impress her.
Oh, sure. That sounds like an appropriate use of my time and talent. Hey, Jack. Who's this lovely?
Excuse me, Bon Jovi, I'm in the middle of a conversation here.
Yeah, but you said to...
Thank you.
I hate it here.
Oh, so he blew him off.
Yeah.
But that was probably when he was doing movies and all that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
in the
Just
movie
did a
Valentine?
U571.
He was in Valentine's Day or New Year's Day. It was one of those.
New Year's
two.
Day, I think he was in.
New Year's Eve. Yeah,
New Year's Eve or something like that. And one of them stupid movies.
Gary Marshall.
Jen watches the movie and she just fast forwards through the whole movie until John Bon Jovi comes on. Then she watches that part, then she rewinds it, watches it again, then fast forwards until he's on again. All right, since we're gonna do, but we're gonna do with a little caveat here. We're not gonna talk about the McDreamy, Bon Dreamy songs. No ballads. We're gonna talk about the rocking side, the harder side, the rocking shit that Bon Jovi did. And I'll tell you what, until they became a pop and country band, they had a ton of great rock songs out there. Oh, yeah. So we're going to talk about some of them tonight. Jen, what's your first pick for us tonight?
All right. Don't hate me. I'm not picking a ballad.
We can never hate you.
I'm not picking a ballad. But don't hate me. My favorite Bon Jovi song is Blaze of Glory. But it's a John Bon Jovi song because it wasn't the whole band. So I'm adding it in, whether you like it or not.
We'll give you that one.
She's breaking the rules.
Because I don't care.
Right out of the gate, she's breaking the rules.
I am estrogen, and I will do what I want.
God damn it!
So that song is awesome. You know, even if you watch the video,
the video's cool. They're up on that mountain.
Utah, I think it is, and you got the movie playing in the background for your.
They burn that barn.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool video. The song is cool. It gets all quiet, and then all of a sudden it breaks out into those drums. It's an awesome song.
It is a good song. I enjoy it. I actually like Miracle better from that album. But that is a good song.
I like it.
Guys?
Yeah. Good tune.
Good tune.
Real enthusiastic over there.
Okay. Look, I wrote so much about it because I love it.
Well,
is that whole page for
wow?
Just to hear.
Well, go ahead.
Keep going.
We don't want you to have wasted your
time. We got
time.
Jeff Beck on guitar. Let's see, what else? It hit #1 on that Billboard Top 100. Oh, the song was written and inspired by the movie Young Guns, and he wrote it in 6 minutes while he was having burgers with Kiefer Sutherland. I bet you didn't know that.
Well, now
they
added
that. I didn't know.
Now we have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, hey, I mean, come on.
If there's food involved,
now they're talking about burgers.
What kind of burger?
And beer.
And true.
Well, I don't know if they had beer around, but
B&B.
I don't know. I wasn't prepared to cover that song because it's just a John Bon Jovi song, not
what year was it?
A Bon Jovi song.
1990, his solo album.
Yeah, see, I mean, I remember that coming out.
I'm really sorry,
that
but
was the
I
big
had
thing.
to add that.
No, it is a very good tune.
It's
we're
a
just
good tune,
picking on you.
but at that time, he was going.
BC was starting to check out at this point.
I was leaving the Bon Jovi camp.
Well,
packing the tent.
Packing the tent out of there.
I'm happy because then none of you guys picked that. So
we did not.
We did not.
And you know what? And I meant to go into his Destination Anywhere album and look at some of this because there's some really good songs on that, but I totally forgot to look at it. But that's a good pick.
All right, thanks.
All right, BC, what do you got to wow us with?
I'm gonna go right off of the self-titled album, 1984, with "Breakup." I mean, it's in I think it's the first song on the second side back in the album days.
Oh,
I could be wrong, but
you are wrong. It's the first song on the second side.
That's what I mean.
Oh.
That's what I said.
Oh, I was thinking you said.
I think you said second song.
I think you said second song on the first side.
Maybe.
I don't.
You know what I meant.
I don't know.
Come on.
God damn it! Listen to me.
Damn it! But I just love the guitar riffs in it, and then the solo in it, and everybody lets it get.
And I'll tell you what, the drums are fucking phenomenal in that song. The drums are kick-ass in
The
that
whole
song.
album.
That's an excellent.
Very great, very good solo. I mean, first album from Bon Jovi, I think overall.
And that's the longest song on the album.
Oh, I didn't know.
Are you familiar with that song, Jen?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. I didn't. Back in the day, I only listened to the hits, so I had to re-listen to all of his stuff.
So you only
This
listen to
weekend?
Runaway on this album.
I don't like Runaway. I know you guys are shocked, right?
I'm a little shocked.
Because that's a pretty good tune.
Oh, it is, but I think it falls underneath the category of played too much.
Played too much. Yeah, but I like those songs
And back,
that are played too much.
and back in the day, that was always on the radio.
Yeah. You'll even hear it once in a while now too. You'll still hear
Rock
that.
107 stuff
That'll
plays
get
it.
busted out. Not as much as Bad Medicine. You give them a bad name, but those songs
I'm
do.
talking
It
about
does
back
get
in the
busted
day,
out.
like
Oh yeah.
you turn on the radio,
Yeah.
it just that's like,
I remember it from Skaterama. I used to skate down there, and they used to play Runaway
right.
all the time.
That's true.
Oh, Skate Around. I love that place. That was
skate
awesome.
backwards then.
All right, cool.
Not on purpose, right?
yeah. Yeah, BC on roller skates is not a good thing. All right. Where do we? Oh, BB, go ahead.
Well, let's stay in 1984 with their self-titled album, but let's not talk about Runaway. Let's talk about Runaway's little brother, Roulette.
Yeah.
I think it's right after Runaway. Runaway's number 1, Roulette's number 2.
Almost in the game, you can't win.
Almost in the same realm. Heavy guitar riff to start off. John Bon Jovi's high vocals. He's so young.
You thought he was going to say hot, didn't you?
Yeah.
With his hot vocals.
With his hot abs, vocals.
Yeah. What's really cool that I'm noticing that Bon Jovi as a band has, their harmonics of a band, the way they harmonize everybody's voice together is really, really cool, I thought. Richie Sambora on his solo, he's using an on-off switch, and it's so different because you don't think of Richie kind of being like a heavier riff guy, but this is amazing solo in this song. And then the way it fades out with the band and the harmonies and another little riff at the end, I thought it was a really, really cool, rockin', kind of heavy Bon Jovi song.
I again love that song. And I think we talked about it a little bit. I mean, not to get off track here, but these old songs, like, you put them on and, like, bam.
You remember the lyrics. You haven't heard it in
you don't
15
remember
years.
them, they just come out.
Yep.
It's like that when you're really sick and the vomit just comes out. You can't stop it. The words of these songs just come out, and like you don't realize how much you know it without even. Yeah, I haven't listened to this album in quite some time until now.
Yeah.
And boom, it was right there.
It comes right back to you. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, if I could remember half the shit that my wife tells me half the time, like I can remember lyrics of songs like from fucking 20 years ago or 30 years ago, whatever, I would be in a lot less trouble than I'm usually in. All right, excellent pick. My first pick, I'm going to shoot up to, what's the year here, people?
1988.
No, not 88. I'm going to shoot up to 1988. You're right, BB.
See? Oh. Thank God I'm here.
You win.
Doubt you.
I know.
You're right.
Oh,
I'm going to shoot up to 1988, the New Jersey album.
Existing.
And I'll tell you what, that was a freaking great album. This, I think, is probably, in my opinion, the most rocking Bon Jovi song ever. It's called Homebound Train. This song fucking rocks. There is nothing about this song that is bad. Nothing. Vocals, and in the beginning you get the little you could hear like the train kind of sound in it. Richie playing the slide guitar on it, and there's a absolutely phenomenal, yeah. There's a harmonica solo in it. There's a keyboard solo in it, and there's a guitar solo in it. It's just an absolute phenomenal song. It's probably my favorite Bon Jovi song like ever. And this is one that, if I'm doing a playlist, this song is on there, and it's just fucking fantastic.
Yes, 100%. It was on my list also. This song, like you've already said before, is probably one of Bon Jovi's top 3 songs. And you've already touched on it, which I already had written down. The keyboard and the harmonica solo, back and forth, and then how it ends with a guitar solo. It's just mind-blowing. And it's one of those songs that I can't believe that never
caught on
out there. Especially in 1988. Like, is it the keyboards? Is it the harmonica? Like, I don't understand, like, what didn't sell in this song? Because this is an amazing kick-ass song.
I think it was just of how they released singles, because you had Bad Medicine, Lay Your Hands on Me, Living in Sin, I'll Be There for You were all singles from this album. So I think it hit-wise, like how hits were then, it's hard. It's a harder song than those other ones. You know what I mean? There's not as much.
It's not radio friendly.
Yeah. So like for rockers out there, it's great, but it's not the one that your girlfriend's gonna want to have sex to. You know, like Bad Medicine or you know. Are you familiar with that song, Jen?
I am, and I like the harmonica. I like the piano and all that. It's not my favorite on that album, but it is a really good song. I like it.
I agree with you guys so far. It would have made my list, but I knew, so I stayed away from it.
Anyway,
but like you said, most of the songs out there were the singles were mid-tempo.
Right. This was more,
This is more
hard-hitting,
than what Jovi was starting to get into at that time.
Right. Right.
But great song overall.
It was more kind of. I mean, I think this song would probably, out of all the songs in New Jersey, probably fit the most from the first album.
Yeah.
Like
definitely,
rocking,
yeah,
like
definitely,
rocking wise.
sure.
Yeah. So is that one of your picks too, BB?
It was, yes.
All right. So we will circle back around to Jen.
All right, so my second favorite Bon Jovi song is Wanted Dead or Alive. Now, I don't think that's really ballady, maybe a little bit, but not really, because I still think it's a rockin' song. Because he's wanted, and he is really wanted, dead or alive.
By you.
By me, yeah. But
Preferably alive. But you'll take him dead anyway.
That's a stretch for not a ballad, though. That's a stretch.
Come on, it's
But we'll allow it.
It's
That's
not.
like 2 already that she picked that aren't rockin' songs, but we'll let you go.
They're
Because
rockin'
we
to
love
me.
you.
Boy, oh boy. First one's not a Bon Jovi song, and the second one's not a... Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Come on.
You invited me here. You should know better. First of all. So this was number 7 on the Billboard Top 100. It was the 3rd single from the album to reach the top 10 from 1986, Slippery When Wet. John and Richie wrote it in Richie's mother's basement, and it was inspired by Bob Seger's Turn the Page, which is kind of ballady, I guess. But I still think it's a good tune, not like necessarily.
It's a good song.
You know,
Since we are talking about right now the Slippery When Wet album, do you guys remember the original cover?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like a yellow T-shirt.
Yeah, the girl with
rips in
the
it or
girl with the
something,
yellow
right?
T-shirt on with the
think I
wet
had that
T-shirt.
around.
really?
Yeah, and they
Oh yes.
did they
I
ever
remember
release
that.
any with that on there?
I remember.
Yeah, it was out there.
Was
It
it?
was out there. I had the cassette
I think I have that.
of that.
I gotta look when I go home.
Yeah.
I wonder
That'd
if
be
they're
cool.
probably
Take a
going
picture.
for quite a bit on eBay. I'm going to say
Yeah,
probably.
right.
So you guys out there, if you didn't know it, there is an alternate cover that was banned, I guess.
There's just like a couple rips in the shirt or something. Huh?
Yeah,
I think it was because it was low cut. You gotta remember, this is 1986.
86. Yeah.
And Richie's backup vocals are awesome on this song. I mean, he really, I said it before. Mikey is to Sammy what Richie is to John.
And that's what's lacking right now.
And it is.
Sammy who?
Let's not go there.
Sammy who?
Let's not go there.
Should have released the estrogen.
Yeah. That's right.
With a vengeance. Esther Jinsens. All right, BC, what do you got up next for us, buddy? He's gonna. Here comes the wow factor right here. Here it comes. Get ready.
I'm very old school Bon Jovi, so I'm gonna go to their second album, 7800, with Tokyo Road.
Oh.
I mean, when I first heard it, I'm like, wow, what the hell is this? Like the little China girl, China doll, what do you want to call her? Whatever.
Little geisha girl.
Geisha girl, thank you.
There you go.
I couldn't think of the word. But and then it kicks in, and it's like,
Imagine how good that would sound if that album was produced good.
exactly.
That'd be. Oh my God.
This
That'd
is
be
one
so
of the
good.
Is
standout
that the one
songs
that
on
was
that
produced
album.
by his uncle or Tony or?
No, he was in on the first one. This is the guy that co-produced the first one. Lance Quinn produced the second album, and this guy apparently had produced like the Talking Heads or something. So they pretty much just went along with whatever this guy said.
And back then, I think that's one good thing about today is I think bands are more free to do and have who they
Right,
want.
because they're not slave to a record company now.
back then
back
everything
then-
was record company. They tell you to jump. You're
Right.
saying how high you want us to
Yeah,
jump.
because they're footing the bill, and especially back then too, because like they're a young band, they don't really know what the
hey.
hell was what was what.
Just have a good time, want to play music. So what the hell?
Right.
It's totally
How about
different.
all
back
the
then.
songs they actually released off this album?
Yeah, they did. I mean,
They released
believe it or
5 songs off of this album.
Yeah, In and Out of Love, Only Lonely, Silent Night, and Hardest Part is the Night.
I like it now.
Silent Night. I remember them doing Silent Night
not. Yeah.
on
That's
that
too
on that
ballady
on that
for
tour.
me.
Huh? Oh, I'm not saying I liked it. I just said I remember them
Saying they
doing
did
it.
it.
I remember them doing it.
But I love the bass on the song too, especially in the chorus. It's like one of those things that want to make you play bass. You hear the
Boy, not many things do that.
there's songs out there that just grab you, the bass grabs you. But I mean, overall, just
Grabs you by the bass.
grabs you by the bass.
All right, who's up next? BB.
No,
All right.
why don't you skip me this
All
round?
right,
and I'll-
we'll skip you. All right, we'll go to me. I'm going to shoot over to the back to the Slippery When Wet album. One song I think is probably one of the most fun songs that Bon Jovi does. Really cool song. I think it's fun. Social Disease. Mm-hmm. I love the big keyboard. The da 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 da. It kind of sounds like a horn section,
yep.
And I really like that. And it's a fun party song. About life on the road. Just getting your shots.
I actually heard it today, Social Disease.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Oh, that is a really good song.
Yeah, it's
But
funny.
I don't like the beginning of it when they're all they're all moaning in the beginning.
They probably have a stomach ache from the night before.
They're not
like
moaning.
It's their social
girls.
disease. It's in the
girls
belly
doing
ache.
Yeah, I don't.
They're
that's
working
what I
on
mean.
getting
I
the
don't
social
like it.
disease.
You know, like
I
the
don't
girls
like
moaning?
No, I don't like that.
What if maybe it was John moaning?
It definitely wasn't John.
You never
'cause
know. He does
wasn't
have a
with me,
high pitched
so-
sounding voice.
No, it
Never
wasn't
know.
John. I don't know.
Okay.
I just thought they should have left that part out of the song. I didn't like it.
That doesn't ruin the whole song for you, does it?
No, I like
Okay.
the song. I just don't like that part.
It was 1986. Come on.
I know.
It was one big social disease.
Yes, it was.
It's like Rocket Queen.
But I love
middle
the
of it.
song.
All right.
Yeah, I like Slippery When Wet, especially for the non-hits. There's a couple. One we'll talk about next time around, but it's just a front to back. It's a really good album, and that song, Social Disease, is right there. It's one of those songs like you still don't understand why it wasn't out there, but like the keyboard in it is really cool, which is starting to like be like a core thing for this band, which they kind of like rotate around. But really good, really really good tune.
Again, another great tune on this album. And like BB, there's a lot. The songs I like the most are the ones that were not popular radio back then.
One of my backups was from that album that wasn't popular.
Just one.
One. I only took one backup, just in case you guys picked one of my songs. I'm like, there's no way they're picking one of my songs.
All right. Where we at? Jen. I think we're up to Jen now, right? Back again.
You're gonna hate this one. I'm sorry.
Here comes the third Rockin' song.
No, it is.
Thank
but
you
it's
for
probably-
loving me.
No,
Bed of Roses.
it's definitely one that's played way too much, but I still like it. Bad Medicine. But this was written by John and Richie. But I used to play this over and over on my radio, and I would stop and rewind, because when he gets to that really fast part in the song, I need a respirator because I'm running out of breath. There's not a generator. When you find medicine, you think you can get.
The best
so
part
I
is
stopped playing. Yeah.
Whoa. I love that part.
Yeah. See, it's a good song.
I like that. I don't hate it.
So I'd sit with my tablet and my pen, and I'd, all right, this is the word. Then I'd have to rewind and play it again. Then play it again, just so I can get that part down. And I still know it. That's all I have to say.
See that she was even researching for the podcast way back in the day.
I didn't even know.
See?
If only I kept my notes from back then.
I don't hate that. I think it's a good song. It's that's another one that's kind of a little overplayed.
It is.
Or a lot overplayed.
It is. I
but
agree,
it's still
but I like
still a
it.
good song though. I enjoy it. I don't hate it.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely one of their major hits, and it's out there for a reason. It's not one of their shitty songs, that's for sure. It's out there, and that's probably one of the 3 songs when somebody says, "Hey, name a Bon Jovi song," somebody's going to say "Bad Medicine,"
And
it's there
reach
for a reason.
100 on the Billboard Top 100.
100.
Yep, one.
Oh, 100.
I did say
Oh,
100.
big hit.
I did hit one.
I think this is when Bon Jovi, to me, started going downhill. Not downhill, but he was going in the direction of total poppiness. Yeah. He was leaving the rock world, and
It's more I don't know, is it more of a keyboard? I don't know, is it more of a keyboard thing you think? Or more of
it's very keyboard heavy.
I know what you mean. That it was headed in a poppier direction. I can't quite think of what the hell I want to say, but
I know what you mean. But to me, that's what I
it'll
felt.
come to
I
me
just
like
felt
2
it
hours
was-
from now when we're done.
And I was like, I still was into it, but
So you didn't like Bon
Not as-
Jovi, New Jersey? Is that what you're saying?
no, I don't mean it that way. It's just that overall, it seemed very. He was going. You see where he was looking.
Off the deep end?
No, he's
All
just
right.
looking at a different route.
All right. Well, BC, since you're talking so much, what do you got next?
Shit. I'm going to pick out of the bucket here. I'm going to go with Slippery and Wet, 1986, the opening track off it, Let It Rock. Like when you put that on and like the organ.
The keyboard, like the keyboards, like it's kind of
And the organ
like
feel, though.
pump you up, kind of.
Yeah, like you're getting ready for like the football game, the fight, you know.
Yeah.
And the kicking is like, I do like that.
Yeah, I like this song.
But to me, that like the beginning of the song is like, yeah, whoa. And to me, I mean, that was the album that not put them on the map, but put them up to the status.
I think so too. That's
The first album put I mean, Runaway that put them on the map and got them out there, and then I think they slowed down a little bit with that second album, but this is the album that put them up to the status of.
Yeah.
And it's, I think it's probably their best album opener. I'm gonna say that I could think of off of all the albums.
And I like every single song on that album. And I know them all. I didn't just pick the hits. I know all of them on this one.
Like I said, it was a
'Cause they
different
were all
time.
good.
It was all good, and just
Yeah.
the older music sticks with you.
It does. Like you said, you can throw this on
And bang.
5 years from now, not have listened to it from like tonight, and it'll be right in your head. You know, all the riffs, all the keyboards, all the notes and the solos and everything. You know, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. All right, BB.
All right, well, I'm going to keep riding this slippery when wet train, and let's talk about the album closer, BC. How about Wild in the Streets?
That was my just in case pick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
I have that in my backups.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it's a very drum keyboard heavy song, and I think that's what kind of takes me in because it's a little bit different than like the normal music that kind of my ear catches. But what's really cool is the solo in it. It reminds me like it's like a Buddy Holly Les Paul. I don't know what Richie Sambora plays, but when I hear the solo, I think of like Buddy Holly. I don't know why, but this was like an anthem song for us kids in Carbondale hanging out in the streets.
That's what I wrote in my notes.
Because that's all we did.
Yeah.
I was just going to say because to me lyrically, like
It hits home.
You relate to it very much.
It pulls you in.
I mean, back then you relate to a lot of songs, but this one, like,
Yeah.
That's
you
what
heard,
we
like,
used to do.
Well, because I mean, think about it.
We were wild in the streets.
Those guys were doing that what we were doing only a couple years ahead of us.
Yeah.
And now they're singing about it, and we're like, and that was something you could relate to.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And John was the only one who wrote that song. Fun fact.
Richie wasn't really wild in the streets then.
I guess he wasn't.
We just changed
He had to
the
stay
name.
He was in his mother's basement.
Yep.
He was wild in the sheets. That's what they said.
Whoa! That's not what
know.
Heather said.
That's the other version. That's the on the EP, Wild in the Sheets. All right, number 3 pick for me. I'm gonna move ahead in time. Hang on, let me move ahead in time here. I'm gonna move to the year 2000. I'm gonna go to the Crush album, which, in my opinion, is probably the last Bon Jovi rock album. And I love this album. You know, this is probably my favorite Bon Jovi album. I think it's fucking excellent. They had a concert video out from this tour. Was taped in Zurich, Switzerland. My wife and I, and speaking of my wife, she was going to come on the show tonight with her picks, but she didn't want it. She
Backed out, huh?
Yeah, she backed out.
Oh.
But and
Stage
we probably watched this concert together on DVD probably 20 times, and we talk about it all the time. And I'm gonna
I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh, really? It's excellent. It is freaking excellent. I'm gonna pick this song for my wife, and it's actually one of my favorite songs too. It's called "One Wild Night." Great. I'll play it for you later, Jen.
You never heard it?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. And it starts out with the like, and then like it boom, then it kicks in. It is a fantastic. As soon as we take a break, I'll play it for you. It's a fucking excellent
Because I
song.
probably know it. I just
You
can't think of
you've probably heard it, but it's a great song. I know BC's familiar with it. I don't know if BB is familiar with it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just a fantastic song, and like every time like my wife and I talk about it, you have to watch the video because you will love him dancing around playing this song.
He's hot,
But it's really cool too because when they on this concert video, there's people like fans on the side of the stage like for the whole show, and then I think this is the song he pulls one of the girls out and dances with her on the stage.
What's the video? Like, when I look it up, what do I need to look
I think
for?
it's just called Crush or Crush Live, I think.
All right, I'm writing it down.
I'll have to.
The DVD
probably-
release?
Yeah, the DVD.
I think it's just like a Crush Live.
It's got to be.
I think it is.
Something
Netflix or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so it's from like the year 2000, 2001. But it's just it's a great song, and I hope if you guys are not familiar with this Bon Jovi song out there, if you like the stuff from Slippery When Wet and the stuff from New Jersey, just check this song out because it's really, really good. And it's produced excellent. It is an excellent sounding album, and it's actually produced by John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora and Luke Eben, I think the guy's name is. But it's a great album. And it's actually a long album for Bon Jovi. It's like an hour long. It's like almost like 58 minutes. But overall, I think it's their last rock album.
Yes.
Before they really went like off the pop deep end.
Off the
so
reservation.
so
What
definitely
was the name of it?
the album Crush.
No, the name of the song.
One Wild Night. Yeah. So all right. So there's 3 picks from us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little hidden gem, and then we're going to take a little break. So let's get into our hidden gems. All right, hidden gems this week. Let's mix it up. We'll start with BC this week.
All right, I'm going to go back to 1999 with the Boys and Rat. I mean, at this time, they went down to like a 4-piece band and it was the first one with Robbie Crane on bass. And it got labeled as more bluesier Rat. I didn't see that, but I thought it was more... I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but to me, it was a really underrated album, I think. I mean, Love Sick is on there, Dead Reckoning, Tug War, I Gave Up, Giving Up. I mean, you don't hear much about this album. I don't know why, but to me, it's a very underrated Rat album.
BC.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I could not agree more. This is a fantastic, like, total under the radar Rat album.
Very.
And Lovesick is my go-to Rat song.
Was this when they played at Tinks?
They played at Tinks, yeah, for that. And they did a version of Lovesick that just blow your skull into a million fucking
1999,
pieces.
they played in Tinks.
Tinks and Scream.
Seriously?
Tinks, yeah.
Where
And-
were you?
Everybody played
Wait.
at Tinks.
Everybody
How
played
old
at
was
Tinks.
I was in my 20s.
See?
Come on.
I was
Say what?
21.
See?
I was 22 then.
See, you could have been
They
there.
played in Tinks.
I didn't even know.
Speaking of Tinks, I recently found out one of the other names that Tinks became was the Boom Boom Beach Club.
Oh, that was a short time.
Like
I was gonna
that's
say,
that's a
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was really
hilarious
short.
name. For
I never heard that.
The
Yes.
Boom Boom Beach
The
Club.
Boom Boom Beach Club. What was going on there, people?
It was a swingers club. Yeah,
Boom, boom.
BC. That's a phenomenal album.
I
Have you ever
was
heard
go-
that album, Jen?
I really am not a Rat fan.
Oh, okay.
Give,
How about you,
Listen
BC?
to
There's
this.
some songs
I have
I
heard
like,
that.
though.
No,
Fantastic.
Wasn't
Just
Yeah.
listen to this one.
that when Hair of the Dog opened up for them? Didn't Hair of the Dog open up for them for that?
Yes, I want to say yes, but
I'm like 98% positive that a band called Hair of the Dog opened up.
and they came
for
out.
them.
We're like,
They kicked ass,
Yeah,
and
Temple of the Dog.
Ryan Cook.
you ever
that
heard
is
those guys?
in a,
Temple of the Dog?
no.
No, Hair of the Dog.
Hair of the
These
Dog.
guys kicked ass.
Kick
Ryan Cook, that is now one of the guitar players in Ace Frehley band. That was his band back then, and they kicked ass.
Real
Great
good.
pick though, BC. All right, Jen, what do you got for a gem?
Well, since you sprung this on me, I should have known because, you always do
did.
gems.
I
But
know.
this is my pick from the last time because we didn't do one when I was on the show the last time. So
Hmm.
my pick was 6 a.m. Everything Went to Hell. Did you guys ever hear that song?
Yeah.
It's about the guy screwing the guy's girlfriend, probably Nikki's, and Nikki walked in. Not
kids
like
watch
Nikki
the
didn't
show.
screw other people's girlfriends.
That was
No,
Vince.
no.
It was Vince.
No,
That's a good song.
it was Tommy Lee's fault.
No, it was
Yeah.
Vince.
I love this song. I love it. Prayers from the Blessed. It's on. I saw them in concert. Did you guys ever see 6 a.m.?
Yes,
They're awesome.
you did, BB.
Or did I?
We saw them at Crew Fest.
Oh yeah.
I
that's
saw
right.
him,
That was the night
That's true.
where my brother and Girth were the VIPs. Remember
Yes.
that night?
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Okay.
that in Electric Factory.
Really? Well, me and RA drove to Philadelphia in the winter time. We waited outside in line because it was general admission.
What's it?
So it was like 20 degrees. I got right in front of Nikki Six, and I got his pick that says blessed, and on the other side it said, I
Fuck.
don't remember. No.
Prayer for the damned.
Damned and blessed, yes. And then
All right.
after I got that, I'm like, okay, I can go home now. I'm done. So do you like the song?
What?
Song's great.
Yeah, great song. When I went down in Philly, we got down there early, and the person I was with us said, let's go look for somewhere to get a bite to eat and maybe a drink. Or two.
Or 6.
Or 6 or 7 or 8. So we went down, and we were in the streets of Philadelphia, which sometimes some sections can be rough. So anyways, we're coming back, we're walking the street, and here comes James Michael at 6 a.m.
Oh.
And I'm going, that's him. I said, hey, James, what's up? And he's like, hey, man, what's up? Hey, come to Showtime? Yeah. And this is before the show, and like,
Really?
down the streets of Philadelphia. Really
That's a
cool
song,
guy.
Streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Did you tell him how
Fucking
much you
Springsteen,
love
fuck
the
him.
Saints Los Angeles album since he wrote like all the songs on there?
Yeah, really.
But this is
They're a good band. I really like 6 a.m.
Excellent. All right. BB.
Since we're on the Bon Jovi little kick here, how about Richie Sambora and Oriana? 2017, they released a little EP during their little Love Connection.
Orianthi.
what we're trying to say.
Yeah. The song is called Rise, and it's dueling guitars back and forth, dueling vocals. It's just a really good hard rock song, and you get a chance to check that out because it's really, really good.
I haven't heard that one.
I didn't hear that, but I mean, we saw her with Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
She could rip it up.
There's a video of her doing Voodoo Child at a festival in Europe somewhere.
I don't know who she
I think
is.
it's
Oh my God,
She
she
rips it up.
Was,
tears it up.
Alice's guitar.
Alice's
solo
guitar player
hours.
before Nita Strauss.
Oh.
I mean, she's also known for her solo stuff.
She was
Yeah.
with Alice Cooper before
And
we
actually,
saw
she was Michael
So does
Jackson's
she
guitar
sing
player.
Also? Like
Yeah.
they both sing?
They
Yeah,
both-
she has that.
Yeah.
She has a couple.
Well, she was Michael Jackson's guitar player for a while.
Yeah,
Before he passed
played
away.
with Michael Jackson right before he passed away. In the solo album she has out, what was it called? I think I have it.
I have it too, but I can't think what the hell it is.
That's good.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. I know I have it.
And
I haven't heard any of Richie's solo stuff.
He has solo stuff out when Bon Jovi was
Yeah.
still out.
Stranger in this town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, real good. And he's got a great voice too.
he does.
All right, cool. Me, right?
Yeah. Your turn.
I'm gonna keep it Bon Jovi. They put out a live album in 2001. It's called Wild Night Live. It was from the Crush tour, and they do a version of Neil Young's
Rocket in the Free
"Rocket in
World.
the Free World." Okay, it's right in front. Literally, it's right in front
It's
of me.
only his most popular song.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
Seriously.
It is a fantastic version. It is like very heavy, and they do a great version of it. And the version that they do was recorded in Johannesburg, South Africa. And this live album is really good. I'll just read the tracks real quick on the live album. It's my life, living on a prayer. You give love a bad name, keep the faith. Someday I'll be Saturday night, rocking the free world, something to believe in. Wanted dead or alive, run away, in and out of love. I don't like Mondays, just older. Something for the pain, bad medicine, one wild night. So it's a really good live album. I don't think it's available on iTunes for some reason.
Is that Poison something to be in?
No, it's a Bon Jovi song.
They do have
Oh,
a.
is it?
they
It's
do
about
have
It's a Bon Jovi song.
these days.
They gave me something to believe in.
Yeah, I was like, really?
These days is not too bad of an album.
I like it.
There's a couple good songs on there.
It's-
It's got a real heavier guitar sound on that album.
Guitar song, it got some mellow tunes, but overall, I mean, sounds are good, I think.
I didn't follow him too much. Bon Jovi when you.
Jen was losing track.
I,
It
It is.
Losing
available.
interest.
I was
Sebastian
Oh,
Bach
boy.
came around, and you were
Yep.
like, probably going to
Sebastian
Bach.
started
It
sucking
is
up
no
all
Van
our time.
Halen. Van
Oh, it is on
Ah.
iTunes. Okay, it is on iTunes.
It is.
So.
It is on iTunes.
Okay, so check it out.
Yeah.
All right, that's our.
Well, I could.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, have a gem, Dylan. Sorry about that.
So the band Machine Head. Everybody familiar with the
Yes.
band Machine Head? They do a lot of cool covers for bonus tracks. They do "Hallowed Be Thy Name" by Iron Maiden, either Blackened or Battery by Metallica. But the one that I want to focus on today is one of the bonus tracks off of their album for 2011, Unto the Locust. They do a cover of Judas Priest's The Sentinel.
Really?
And it's really good. It's a great Priest song to begin with, and just a classic. And they really do an awesome version of it. So check it out off of their Unto the Locust special edition version. It's on iTunes, so if you just look up The Sentinel, it'll probably be one of the ones that pops up.
Really good version, and that is one of my top 5 Priest songs. Absolutely love that song.
I love they do the gang vocals for the "Condemned to Hell." It sounds really cool, like in the chorus.
I think I've heard the version. It's really good. All right, cool. So as far as the gems go, we have 6 a.m. Everything Went to Hell from Jen. We have Rockin' the Free World from me. We have the Rat self-titled Kick-Ass album from Rat from 1999. We have Rise from Orianthi and Richie Sambora from BB. And Machine Head the Sentinel from Dylan. So check those out, you guys. Let us know what you think about them. And let's get back into the show. And we will go back to... Let's mix it up here a little bit. BB, what do you got?
All right, let's go back to 1985, the 7800 Fahrenheit degrees Fahrenheit album. Let's go In and Out of Love. This is probably going to be the most popular song that's on my list, but I love it because it's one of those albums that it just didn't get enough love, I don't think. And the harmonies and the vocals in this song are just so fantastic. And the solo is really good. It just once again, I can't understand why this album is so hidden in between the two, between the self-titled and Slippery When Wet
Production.
You know,
I have a quote for you from John Bon Jovi about this album.
he just called it.
You just called it. Hold on, people.
He just texted.
He just called it. I wouldn't let Jen talk to him because he'd never get off the phone. He says, "I always overlooked the second album. Always have, always will. We had no time to make it, and we didn't know who we were. We did whatever producer Lance Quinn said. He was brilliant.
Exactly.
He was a brilliant guitarist. He made records with the Talking Heads, so we just listened. All of us were going through tough times on a personal level, and the strain told on the music we produced. It wasn't a pleasant experience. Lance Quinn wasn't the man for us, and that added to the feeling that we were all going about it badly. None of us wanted to live in that mental state ever again. We put the record behind us and moved on." So
Exactly.
And they only recently did. I think they did "Only Lonely" on one of the tours, like a couple of years ago. And they Tokyo Road they've done a couple times, but they don't delve into that album at all. But there are some really good songs on there. And I remember the first 3 up to "Slippery When Wet." That was the time when you just listened to the albums over and over and over again. You knew the lyrics, you knew everything. You don't have the time to do that anymore. You know, because like you said, BC, I could throw on this album and know every song, even the ballads.
I threw it on, and it's like the words are just coming out of my mouth without even trying.
Jen's wowing over that.
She's wowing. Come on.
In and Out of Love is actually my favorite song from that album.
Good pick,
It's
though,
a great
baby.
song.
All right, cool. BC.
Talk about his.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I had that on my list. To me, it's a great song. I mean, rockin' song for that album.
Is that a pick for you?
No, I got my list. And I just like the way he did a little talk in it. You know, back then that was always cool because they're taking a song and they're stopping and they're talking kind of in it.
I like when the screams in it. Take me back. Yeah.
Good pick. All right, Jen, what do you got next first?
All right. I am going to go. I had such a hard time picking songs because I like so many. I'm going to go with Keep the Faith, 1992. It was number 29 on the Billboard Top 100, but I like the vibe of it. You know, it was like a fun song, and I think when that album came out, John cut his hair off, and, you know, I was a little disturbed by that because I really like the hair.
That was even on CNN when John Bon Jovi cut his hair, believe it or not.
Because his hair is like,
The trademark.
I'm just telling you, I don't know. So it was like a fun song to dance to, and I just really like it. And I like how, you know, in the middle of the song, or maybe it's more towards the end where it gets really slow and walking through the footsteps. I just
Society's
like that.
lies.
Yeah, I like the song. It was just.
It's a great
my
song.
favorites.
That's the one he breaks out the maracas on.
Yeah.
And that's actually on that. It's on that Crush live DVD, and that's one that my wife talks about. That's when he gets the maracas out. But great, and that's a fantastic album too. And you may hear something from that in a little bit also. All right, BC.
I'm going to go back to
Great pick, Jen.
1986.
If you guys want to talk about that song, go ahead. So I kind of skipped everybody on that.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Keep the faith.
Again, that's more of a time when I would
You were bowing out.
I was buying the albums, but they weren't hooking me.
Which is weird because BC actually turned me on to this album. I didn't even know it was out. And BC had it on the one day. I'm like, ooh, I really liked it. And I think I went up with it and he went down with it.
But I mean, overall great album. But to me, it was just, and again at that time there was so much coming out at that time. This is, I think, a lot of things got lost.
Was it?
There's oversaturation.
Actually, I think this was my first Bon Jovi concert. Yeah,
Really?
I have it written down. Let's see. Yeah, Keep the Faith. I saw them in Binghamton on February 15th, 1993. My dad drove me, my mom, my sister, and I and Dawn up in our little minivan. Yeah, we did. A minivan.
Cool full of booze in it.
First concert.
The Astro van.
Probably. There you go.
All right.
But for my pick, I'm going to go back to Slippery and Wet. Another rocker on that to me was Raise Your Hands. I believe the first song on second side. Right?
It is.
And I just love the open riff and the build up. And it's just a very, to me, a live feeling song. Like Raise Your Hand. I can see everybody. And then he gives a
From New Jersey to Tokyo.
at the very
the Kissin' Time.
at the very end of the
Yeah.
song, he gives a shout out to his hometown. Overall, it's a great rocking song. And to me, I mean, not only his first album, I think Richie Sambora's guitar solo was great. This album, again,
He tears it up.
he tears it up on those two albums. And then the '73, like you said, that was, they were listening to the wrong people at that time. That album could have been so much better.
He's no Eddie Van Halen, but he's good.
Hey, who is? Who is? But I'll tell you what, he's an extremely underrated guitar player.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not someone you think of. But
agree.
watch them live. He fucking tears it up.
Underrated guitar and vocals.
And vocally too.
Oh,
Absolutely.
He's awesome vocals.
All right. Good pick. I like that one. BB. No, me, right?
You number 4.
Okay. Me number 4. I'm going to shoot back to the Keep the Faith album. This song, it's probably the longest Bon Jovi song that's out there. It's a song called Dry County. This song, if you listen to the first 4.5, 5 minutes of it, it's slow. But it's good. It's good. It's a really good song.
It's good slow.
But
Like
this
ballad
song,
slow?
like,
Like,
however,
like Wanted Dead or
but
Teeters.
but this song kicks in.
I know.
And Richie Sambora absolutely tears it up, and they rock the hell out of the song. It's fantastic. If you guys have not heard the song Dry County from Bon Jovi, it's on the Keep the Faith album. Check it out. And actually, when I saw Bon Jovi at the Bamboozle Fest in 2013, at Asbury Park, New Jersey,
Was Richie still there?
Richie was not there.
Because I know
Phil-
he left in 13.
Phil X was there. And but I'll tell you what, when they started Dry County, I was like, oh my God. It was one of them moments for me, like, where I was like, holy, like, just like so excited to hear a song. It was the same exact feeling I had when I was watching Maiden and they started doing Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. It was like a song that I never thought I would get to see this band play live.
Right.
And it was one of them like
Now,
freak out moments.
Were there people around you who actually knew that song or no?
Some.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were some. But it was cool, though, because some
Because that's not it.
shitty band, I don't know, band that millennials or whatever, I don't know, younger people like, that I never even heard of. The place was jammed. I never even heard of this band, and it was fucking packed. And then Bon Jovi was like the headliner, and then we were way the hell back. We were way back. And I'm like, oh, this is going to suck. When that other band got over, like, all the kids, like, left. And we were like,
Let's go.
30 feet from the stage. I was like, this is fucking great. And they played it. I was so freaking happy. But Dry County, BC, I know you're familiar with the song. So
Is Phil as good as Richie?
no, he's really good. He is very good. And actually, Phil X, he was the replacement guitar player for Rick Emmett in Triumph. And
like he said, is he good? But, I mean, he's good.
he's really good.
How do you replace Rich?
But Rich, I think John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora are like
Peas and carrots.
peas and carrots,
Phil
or
Lewis
like
and
Phil
Tracy
Lewis
Guns.
and Tracy Guns.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And we talked about Phil and Tracy on last
I don't
week's
know
episode.
who they are. So.
LA Guns. I know you're not a big LA Guns fan,
sorry.
but there's certain pairs in rock that belong together.
Yes.
Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry,
Sammy Hagar, Eddie Van Halen.
David Lee Roth, and Eddie Van Halen.
Damn it.
Richie Sambora and John Bon Jovi, I think, fall
Absolutely.
into that category. I think they're artists that need to be together, and I think they creatively feed off each other. Even if they fight and don't get along, they're creatively they're locked right in. I think
you
they're
don't have to just get together.
Do you
for
think
music.
it's because Richie wanted to sing more? That was always in the back of my head, like why he's no longer there. Do you think he wanted to sing more in the band and John wouldn't let him? I don't know. It was just a thought that
I don't think
had.
so because I don't think there's any Bon Jovi songs out there where Richie Sambora sings lead vocals.
No.
I mean, it's understood it's Bon Jovi. It's not.
Sambora.
You're right.
And at the time, Richie put out solo.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Not
doing
like
his
he-
own thing.
Not like he was able to release stuff.
Right.
And I
Right,
mean,
so I don't know. Maybe
don't
it
mean
was
release
the
albums.
touring. I'm not really
Yeah, I
that
don't really know.
deep
because-
into the
Yeah.
the ins and outs of what happened with those guys, but I wish they would, come back together too.
Yeah.
All right, Dry County for me, and we will go back to BC.
I'm going to finish it up with number 5, the self-titled album, the last song on the album, Get Ready. Again, Richie Sambora is... Back then, the band's new, and nobody really knew these guys until this album came out. And the open guitar, to me, just gets me into it. And what I really like is the keyboards are more piano,
All right.
especially in the solo part.
It's got like kind of a honky tonk sound to it.
Yeah, the more like more piano-ish, like
I don't know
Jerry
if
Lee
I know
Lewis or
that
something.
one. I can't remember. I probably played
It's a
it.
great tune. I mean,
I just can't
It's a very
remember.
good
an
song.
open track solo.
Ready.
It's a great closer because, like, now
Yeah,
you're,
'cause-
like, you
It's not like something.
Maybe he's
It's
telling you to
over.
get ready for the next album.
Get ready for the next album, which unfortunately
Wasn't
not
the
get
best
ready for.
album.
But to me, the piano makes that song. Gives the.
yeah,
To me, that's what grabs me in that tune.
right. Yeah, definitely a good closer on that album. But it leaves at least it leaves you wanting a little bit more Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the better ones to actually end the album with.
Yeah, and I like how that is too. Like if you back in the day when you'd have a cassette, you'd play it and play through, boom, get ready, and then you flip it over, and then like boom, you're right back in Runaway, which I really like that song. It is overplayed, but I've always liked that
when
song.
When this first came out, you didn't mind Runaway.
No. But what I'm saying is when you used to flip it over, like you're continuing
Yeah.
the loop of just rocking songs. Like, you know what I mean? You're not going from side 2 to side 1 like with a ballad. You know what I mean? You're just continuing.
Yeah.
Because back then you would either be flipping that album back over, putting the needle back down, or you'd be flipping the cassette over.
73 Nova, you always had the cassette going in. Bon
I have a
Jovi.
funny story about my Bon Jovi cassette tape.
Okay.
So my father was teaching me how to drive.
Oh, God love 'em.
And yeah, exactly. I was backing out of my driveway at the same time I was putting my Bon Jovi cassette. I think it was
You're the girl that hit me.
78 Fahrenheit. I lived on a dead end street, so if you were
Doesn't mean I was
Yeah,
driving.
that's-
That's right.
Doesn't mean I
BC
wasn't
was
driving
lost.
on it.
so I'm backing out of the driveway, putting the cassette
What street?
tape in Frank Street.
Okay.
And I back all the way across the street, up over the curb on the other side of the road. My dad hits eject, rolls down the window, and throws my tape out the window.
Turn
I'm like,
that shit
oh
off.
my God, you just ruined my Bon Jovi cassette tape. Yeah, I was pissed. And then I didn't drive with them anymore. I wouldn't go.
We're not going to listen to this shit.
Did you slam it in park and jump out and
I
get your
should
tape?
have. I didn't. I think I cried a little bit.
It's not easy raising
I'll
parents.
never, ever,
Oh, yeah.
ever forget that or let them live it down. Never.
Did you tell me you owe me a Bon Jovi tape?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll take the CD now. Thank you.
Hey, the cassettes are coming back.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
They gonna put a cassette in my car?
There you go.
cassette player?
I don't see it.
You don't even get a CD player in your car anymore.
I know, right?
Oh.
No. I talking about cassettes coming back. I mean, some bands are releasing them,
Yeah.
but I don't see it taking off like vinyl
No.
has.
No. I don't have that much
Well,
nostalgia
where are you
for
gonna play
cassettes.
it?
For that
There's
reason.
nowhere to play it.
Well,
They're not
here-
going to put
You're gonna
cassette
have to get
players
a new
back in cars.
boombox.
Well, here's the big thing
Hey,
too about
they released them
cassettes, because like cassettes never sounded good. Like at least with vinyl, like cassettes always sounded kind of shitty. Am I wrong?
Well, and the more you play them, the shittier they sound.
Yeah, like it's.
I mean, vinyl loses some of
It's
its
a-
after a
it's a
1,000
ticking
plays or
time
whatever.
bomb.
But I mean, how many of us have had you're rocking to a tape and it starts, or it gets eaten.
Yeah, and then you gotta stick a pencil in and turn it.
The cassette was one
You're
of the
diving
worst.
across
It was
the
one of the
room.
worst.
No.
The only thing it had going for it was the portability.
Yeah,
That's the only thing it had going for it.
What was it?
The old Walkman.
Walkman.
the old
Yeah.
Walkman. Yeah,
That was the big thing. I got a
and then you had the Discman. Thank God for the Discman.
Ugh.
But it was cool then too because you could make mixed tapes and have it in your Walkman, and
And that's how you'll
like
learn the
90-minute
words.
tapes, man. Remember when they came with the 120-minute tapes? It was like,
120, you're like,
I would
oh.
go crazy.
You'd be like showing your friends, I got 120 minutes. I
Or
got
you
the
can
120
stop,
minutes.
rewind, stop, rewind.
We have an hour before we have to flip this fucking thing over.
And you thought your cat's ask us, I made this tape.
I know.
Who's the
I was-
producer? Me. Who's the
I was
producer?
king of the fucking mixtape. Me and Rob used to like hang out and shit like that. He'd be like, "You got a tape for us?" I'm like, "I got a tape for us."
I
And
would
we
hang out in my bedroom
fucking
and just
rock
make
it.
tapes. Like,
Oh
We
yeah,
used to make songs, like take parts of like certain
Yeah, 'cause you
songs
could stop
and
and
put
chop
them all
them
in
together.
oh, really?
I did that once with I did it with every solo on Peace of Mind. I would put my two speakers together and I put my cassette player in between the two of them, and then like Where Eagles Dare, the solo would come on. I'd play it, boom, I'd stop, and then go on to Revelations, play the solos, stop. I had all the solos for the whole album like
Oh
on
my
one
God.
like song. It was great. All right, BB, best Iron Maiden rockin' song. I mean Bon Jovi rockin' song.
All right, let's close this
Wrap it
one
up,
out.
BB. Wrap it up.
All right, I'm like you, Righty. I'm going to stay with the Keep the Faith album from 1992, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper in the album. Track number 9, Fear. It's funny, it starts out with a little siren in there, so I'm assuming it's probably like taken from your Black Nova when you're getting chased by the cops in town.
by somebody's brother.
By somebody's brother.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And what really took me to this song, it's so rocking, but there's no solo in it. It's just a band cranking, and the only solo anything is John at the end. He gives this high pitched 5-second scream, and that's your solo for the
He was thinking
thing.
about
and
Jen when he was screaming.
Yeah, the Bon Jovi
done.
scream.
Like it's one of those 1-2 punches. The whole band, no solo, nobody out front. The whole band, boom, done. Cranking tune, fantastic.
It is a good song. I like the guitar sound on that song,
Yeah.
too. I know that was
It's
a song
a great mix of the whole
turned
band
me on to
together.
that one, too. Fear.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah, I
don't know
Me
what.
too.
Okay.
I'm sure if I played it,
I'm sure
I
it
would know
became
it.
our.
There's your after
Yeah.
After
work,
dinner mint.
After dinner mint.
That's
So check it out. All right, Jen, wrap it up for us.
All right, my last one is from the Crush album, It's My Life. It went to 33, so it wasn't a real popular song. But I just like the song because it's my life. Don't tell me what to do because I'm not going to do it, and I'll do what I want.
You're
because
not gonna live forever.
It's my life.
Unless it's
End of
listening to
story.
her Bon Jovi tape with her father driving.
Well,
You're not going to listen to it
he will
anymore.
be the only
It's her life,
person,
but his car.
Yeah, he will be the only person to tell me what to
It's
do.
my car.
But
You're not gonna listen to that damn
it was my
cassette.
Life is like an open highway.
yeah.
It's like an open window with the tape flying out of it.
You just go through it a
Now
cassette.
look at he just spit out some lyrics there. Yeah, he's not a Bon Jovi fan.
I
knows
never
the
said I
popular
wasn't
ones.
a Bon Jovi fan. I know
just
Bon
not-
Jovi.
you're not
I
very-
grew up with Corey Wright now.
That's true.
I'm not as deep. I'm not like
Fear deep.
into the Bon
He's not a
Jovi
99 in
catalog.
the shade guy.
Ooh.
See, no thought of that one.
There's a lot of them. You know,
There-
like when you said no ballads, I'm like, that's fine because there's a lot.
Yet you picked two.
No.
It wasn't even a Bon Jovi song.
It
was John Bon
That is
Jovi.
not a ballad.
No, when
what
you said
a
Rockin',
delight.
man, to me, Rockin' is back when it first came out.
Yeah.
It was first.
Because it's funny, you go around the table here, I don't think anybody's picked anything past Crush.
No.
No, I have one that I was going to put on there, but
And Have a Nice
I
Day
don't
isn't
like the
bad
country
as an
Yeah, that's not a
the
bad
album.
song.
The album.
The song's
Yeah,
not
the song's
bad.
all right.
This is
Tsh, tsh. You always got the drums in there.
I have these albums, just nothing really.
Yeah, nothing really
Nothing
stuck
really-
out, but it's,
actually,
you know, there's still-
the best song from Have a Nice Day is Last Man Standing. That song is fucking excellent.
I definitely heard of it.
So,
I can't
so
think of it.
it's really good. It actually sounds like a song that probably could be on Crush.
Wait, what do you call? This is gonna go home with the Jenn Roberts-Veina. She's.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can listen to her.
it's a country song.
it's country. I would
See,
sing
just
it
think,
though.
just think
She's a
if
country
you
singer.
two went to see Bon Jovi and Jennifer Nettle sing, you guys could have like,
She would have been in love. I would have been in love.
right?
We could have had like a little karaoke moment together.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I would karaoke.
there you go, BC.
That's like me and Jen. We still have to sing Meatloaf.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Paradise by the Bay.
I didn't forget about that.
There you go. So practice on your vocals of Who Says You Can't Go.
So you guys will have to sing that.
You can't go back.
Oh my God. I'm gonna drink before I
BC
sing.
bends over and shows
Oh,
his
absolutely. The more
ass
you drink, the
crack.
better it's going to sound.
Exactly.
For sure.
I drink
Obviously.
right.
All right.
And I'll play the tambourine
exactly.
too.
There you go.
The
Oh,
only
there
thing
you
I
go.
don't drink before is work.
Shit, totally off the record.
Yeah.
All right, I will wrap it up. I'm not sure where to go with this, but I think I'm gonna go back to the New Jersey album. I like this song. It's rocking. It's got a nice groove to it, and I really like the song because it's about friendship. Blood on Blood.
Yeah.
I really like that song. It talks about him and two of his friends and how they had this they cut their hands, did like the Blood Brothers kind of thing, and that it kind of goes full circle. It talks about them when they're young and when they're doing crazy shit and everything like that. And then like the end of the song is I knew something like if something happened, I would call those guys and they would be like right here. And I think it's like a full circle kind of song. But it's a good song. It's not it's definitely not a ballad. It's just like a really good song, and I like it.
This is a good song.
Yeah, it's
like
funny
that
when I
album, too.
pulled up the album, I pointed to BC and I pointed to that one. And I'm like, he's going this one because it's a really really good tune, and not only rocking like you said, vocally it has like
Lyrically.
that wild in the streets kind of vibe. It sticks to you.
Lyrically,
It's fun.
you relate to it.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right.
Just change
Does
the
anybody have any honorable mention songs?
I'm
I
sure
did,
would
but
have.
BB picked it.
BB
so.
picked that. Okay.
There were some.
I have one. It's another one from Crush. I think it's just a fantastic album. It's a song called Captain Crash and the Beauty Queen from Mars.
Great song.
No?
Fucking excellent song.
that one.
It's I played it for Dylan right before we came in, and he told me it wasn't a rockin' song.
Thank you, Dylan. Because I'm like, what?
But it's a great song.
It's a good
It's
song,
great
but I
song.
thought the name of the podcast was the Rocking Bon Jovi songs.
How about a can of?
Yeah, because Word General Line isn't rocking, but it's rocking.
Right, and I just
Pop rock.
it's just a great.
Yeah.
I think it's just a really cool song. It's got a
rock.
great, but it's got a great vibe to it. It's got a great.
It does.
It's a good crowd.
It's
arms
not-
back and forth song,
I agree with Dylan. It's not rocking.
It's really funny because
but it's more rocking than Wanted Dead or Alive.
It's more rocking than anything.
I think
In Blaze of Glory,
I think they're both more rocking than.
There's a fight.
no way, no fucking way.
Oh, cool. Do we need a poll?
Maybe we do.
Again?
Maybe we do.
Again?
But those songs are gonna win because no one knows this other song.
They have to listen to it.
But that's irrelevant. We're talking about like rocking era Bon Jovi and then end of rocking era Bon Jovi. Whereas, what song?
We're not
are you
talking eras. We're talking just songs
I know,
in general.
but like that
Captain
song
Crash.
is from the tail end, and it's on the same album.
Well, that tail end was 19 years ago,
Holy cow.
still
2000.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I still
know, we're old.
Wanted Dead or Alive is a much more rocking song than
Yeah. Put up a poll.
Captain Crash.
No way.
The solo in it alone.
Wanted Their Life?
Yes.
No.
The solo. Have you listened to the solo of Wanted Dead or Alive?
No, but the song overall.
The solo's definitely rocking and Wanted Dead or Alive, but it's not
But the song overall is not more rocking.
just
I
tempo
agree
wise.
with Dylan.
Thank you, BB.
You guys are smoking from the same fucking crack pipe.
Captain Crash is like a pop rock.
It's poppy. Yes.
It's like David Bowie, in the. It is a very David
In the
Bowie
Bee Gees
song. No, it is a very David
I'll be
Bowie
the tiebreaker.
All right, let's play it.
Wanted Dead or Alive.
Thank you.
There.
Thank you.
I'll be the tiebreaker. I'll pick my song that I
I am estrogen, so.
You are. But you know what? It's all right. It's always great to have these discussions and stuff, especially when Dylan's wrong and I'm right. It's fucking just awesome.
I don't know about that.
The solo rips in don't.
The solo's great. It's one of his
Put up a
best,
poll.
and that's one of the solos that you
That's
can
what BB
like. I think BB's putting one up now. But I'm telling you right now, my song is going to
They
lose
have to
because
listen to
people
it.
don't fucking know it.
Well, tell them they have to listen to it.
They gotta listen to it.
You have to listen to most songs.
All right, so you guys, what are give me your top 3 Rockin' Bon Jovi songs?
3. That's all we want.
Non-ballads, and we'll even let you pick from the Young Guns 2 soundtrack or Destination Anywhere from John Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Which I meant to actually bend the rules a little bit and delve into that because there's some good stuff on there. There's some really good stuff on that album. You know, Bon Jovi is not all Bed of Roses and Say It Isn't So, Thank You for Loving Me type songs. They do some of these songs still live, but not a whole lot of them. They mix in a lot of the crappier, new poppier songs and stuff like that. But there's still some good gems out there, some good songs to get that fist up in the air. Raise your hands, BC, right? Raise your hands. Definitely check them out. Check out One Wild Night. Jen, she liked it. We played it for her on the break.
I did like it.
Yeah. So,
and I never heard it before. I can't believe that.
And if you want to hear another really song that really kicks in, and Richie Sambora is absolutely phenomenal on it, it's a song from Crush called Next 100 Years. Song kicks in. And that's another song that's on that live DVD. And Richie Sambora is like, you're like, holy fuck, why is this guy not mentioned in great guitar players? And, very underrated. And the thing about Bon Jovi too is, you guys, this is a band that you don't know what's going on with them. They were always they called themselves the Jersey Mafia from the very beginning. And even like when the bass player John Allen Such or whatever his name was thrown out, like
Alex
John Such.
Yeah. When he was booted out, you never really heard what took place. He was just gone.
And they never actually truly replaced him.
Hugh McDonald now, I think, is actually considered a member of the band now.
But back then,
he
played before.
Yeah. Well, he actually played some bass on the first Bon Jovi album.
Yeah.
So he's known those guys and been kind of with them all along.
But those albums, he was never never in the
right.
pictures.
You would see Bon Jovi, and it would be Richie, Tico, David Bryan, and John Bon Jovi, and then you'd see like down in the credits, bass Hugh McDonald.
He was never pictured.
Right. Because even if you look at the cover of the album, The Circle, there's the big circle and there's a silhouette. There's only four of them. But I guess now he's actually considered an actual member of the band. But like you never know what's going on with those guys.
They're kind of like how many years?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's been there for he's been there for more than 20 years because he plays on the Crush album and he's on that concert. Yeah. So he's been there, since at least 2000, and he was with them before that. So and they're kind of like AC/DC and Van Halen. Like you don't know what's going on with them until boom, they put it out there. You don't hear, there's rumors, this and that. They're
like when
very
Dave's
close.
Gonna get booted and bring back Sandy.
Okay.
It has to happen. It's on my dream bucket list before I die. They have to get back together. They have to.
Who?
They could make a boatload of money.
Just one show. I will fly anywhere. Just one.
You heard it. He said
anywhere. Destination Anywhere.
It's gonna be in Jakarta.
Eddie, if you're listening to Potter Than Hell, please, please, I'm begging you, please.
Also, come on the show.
Yeah, while you're at it, we'll even take Wolfie.
All right. I want Michael Anthony.
I know, but
if Sammy comes back, Michael Anthony, it's got to be a package deal.
Wolfgang would be a great guest to have.
Absolutely. And no disrespect to him at all.
Yeah.
And he's more, I guess, more of a guitar player than a bass player.
He did like a whole bunch of like the Tremonti stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
is
he's
great.
supposed to be having a solo album come out
yeah.
where he plays everything on it,
Yeah.
I guess.
I thought it was done. It's kind of like in limbo. For
Yeah,
like
I mean,
the
you've
last
heard about
4
it
months.
forever.
Yeah.
Like you said, no disrespect, but how do you replace Michael Anthony?
You don't.
Right. Although that's my one bad thing about Dave. He wanted to get rid of Michael Anthony
Really?
back in the 80s and have Billy Sheehan come in.
Yeah, he did.
Oof, that'd be different.
Yeah.
And that would be a whole different band. That would be a whole different band.
I don't think Billy would work with Van Halen.
No.
You'd have a lead guitar player
Billy
and a
wouldn't
lead
take
bass player.
Billy wouldn't take the Van Halen
Because
shit.
you already have like a lead drummer and a lead guitar
Right.
player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Throw
that
in
definitely would have
lead
been
bass and
worlds would have
it's-
been colliding there,
it
definitely.
would have been
Wouldn't have been good.
too much.
All right, so let's wrap up. We'll go around the table. We'll say our final thoughts, and we'll get the hell out of here. Estrogen.
I like my new nickname. I think
That's going on a shirt.
I think on the first episode you called me Jenn Roberts. So
I did.
now
I
we're
called you.
expanding.
Yeah.
We're getting new nicknames. So
We'll make it shorter.
Hopefully
Yeah.
this one will stick.
yeah, I hope so. But I'll be back. I don't know when or where, but I'll be back.
Or what the topic
And I'm
will
gonna
be.
have a beer the next time. It
Oh,
can't
yeah.
be on a work night though.
Okay.
This is a work night.
All right.
Pencil you in.
Since you're in there.
And you even let us know what kind you want, and we'll have it here for you.
What's that?
You'll just make fun of that. So
No, we don't care.
I drink
We're gonna make
girly-
fun anyways.
I drink. I drink girly drinks. I'll
That's
bring
okay.
my own.
So doesn't BC.
You know what? I'll just bring a bottle of wine. I'll be good.
That's fine.
All right.
Bring whatever you
BC
want.
wines all night.
And a tambourine. A bottle of wine and a tambourine.
Oh, we'll have a musical selection.
There we go.
We can sing our
Tambourine solo.
There we go. Me and Jen will karaoke and meatloaf.
song. That's right.
Meatloaf.
That can be the news for the week.
Oh God! I want people to listen to the show.
Please do.
That's terrible.
Once again, a fantastic episode, and it's kind of great in diving back into those Bon Jovi albums that you haven't heard since 1984, 1985, 1986. And once again, Jen, thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure. Always somebody new to pick on because
Anytime.
it's getting old picking on BC all the time.
No, it's not.
Oh, true.
Whoever said that.
And I just think it's ironic how nobody has picked any
It's like
Bon
running your wedding day.
Jovi songs past 2000
'Cause they
from
died.
Crush.
They
But
kinda-
Lost Highway was
It was all right.
there's a couple on there I almost threw on.
I had Work for the
stuff.
Working Man from the Circle as one of my alternate picks.
I had We Got It Going On from Lost Highway. But
Nothing
that's
from
just-
This House Is Not For Sale.
That's like a country song, though, isn't it? That's more country, I think.
Yeah.
there's a little talk box and harmonica in it. It went back to the talk box.
I'll listen to it.
But
I like the talk box.
Talk box is
I like
awesome.
it.
BC.
Again, thank Esther Jen for coming on.
Anytime.
And giving us that female input. And this was fun. Like I think I mentioned 5 or 4 times already. Listen to these old tunes. They just come right back to you like you went back in time and the words just come out of your mouth. And to me, that is a sign of timeless music.
I agree.
A good time.
Yeah, I'm not up on Bon Jovi as much as everybody else at the table, but he has some really good rocking songs that you could really get into if you delve into the back catalog. Everybody suggested some awesome, great hits and some also unknown songs as well. Thanks for coming on, Jen. It's always great to have you on.
Thanks.
And
Ooh, the Spotify,
check out some
the
more.
Spotify music list is going to be great this
Yeah,
week.
check out the Spotify playlist that's linked in the show notes below. We'll have all the songs that were mentioned on the episode today.
Right, and you can even listen to the episode on Spotify.
Yep.
I will reiterate. Thank you, Jen, once again for coming up with this,
Anytime.
Esther Jen. And it's always fun having Jen here because we always have our good back and forth and ass busting,
And we're still friends.
and we're still friends, absolutely. And but I wanted to do this episode for a while because we do a lot of metal, like predominantly metal, but I wanted to get into something a little more hard rock, a little more mainstream, and just for all the people out there that are fans of the Bed of Roses and the I'll Be There for Yous and Wanted Dead or Alive
No.
stuff, that there are actual rocking songs out there from Bon Jovi, and harkening back to the day when they were cranking these albums out, and they just kicked ass. and it was a lot of fun listening to them. And that was back in the day, like we talked about, that when these albums came out, they were albums that you listened to over and over again, and you knew every song, you knew every lick, every lyric, every little drum fill, and I want to get back to that. And actually, we talked about this before we started. Even for as much of an Iron Maiden fan that I am, I don't know if I had. BB's got a picture of a lighter on his phone.
We're serenading you.
They're serenading me while I'm talking here. For as big of an Iron Maiden fan as that I am, I don't think there's been an Iron Maiden album since probably Fear of the Dark that I know every song, every lyric. That I know. Like, I know these old Bon Jovi albums better than I know all the new Iron Maiden stuff. Mm-hmm. Not that I don't love it any less or more, but it's just, you just had the time back then, and you put the time in to listen to these albums and everything like that. So I'm going to I remember when we first did this podcast, I threw the challenge out there. I want everybody to go out there, get an album, get a newer album from a band, and I want you to listen to it like 5 times in a row and just like listen to the hell out of this album, whatever album you want to pick, and just go back to like you used to do old school. Just sit down, get the liner notes, read, actually go out and buy the physical copy of it, whether it be vinyl or CD. Delve into the music deep, get into the lyrics and into everything like that. So I'm going to throw that challenge out there. And I'm going to say thank you, everybody, for listening. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Keep talking about us. Keep interacting with us on Facebook. And Jen showing off her awesome Hotter Than Hell shirt. And thank you guys out there for listening. We will see you next time, and there definitely will be a next time.